It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. It is a marvelous Monday. I am Anastasia Palacios.
Marvelous indeed. I'm Philip Simon. Good Monday morning to you.
Yes,
Star.
Phil, I'm just so happy to be back. And to be back, like, knowing I'm not going to go anywhere for a while.
But listen, I got to start off and wish my son a happy two-hands birthday.
Oh my
He's
God.
10. He's 10 today. Camuel Philip Simon celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, boy.
Happy birthday, Camuel. I remember very well when you were born. So I'm getting old now. I can
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
I can say
But-
when I remember when kids were born.
Well, you know, the picture is probably showing him and his sisters, his world, you know, Kaylee and Naja, who happens to be home for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But listen, you're also celebrating. You had a 30th.
Yeah, I celebrated my 30th birthday this past weekend.
Jeez, Star.
I know, Phil. When you met me, I was a baby.
You were a baby.
Yeah, and now
And
look
look
at
at
me.
you.
Look at me, Phil. No, I want to send a very special good morning to my amazing husband, Carlos Palacios, who certainly made sure that the entire week leading
I
up
know.
to, even up to this morning, I get in the car and he left a card in there for
Oh,
me.
man, I
So
know.
he has been so amazing. Love.
Love.
Woo!
1 + 1 is 2. I just, you
Okay,
know,
so we're going to move on from that. But thank you for the well wishes. And to all of you celebrating, we wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time of celebration.
Yeah.
I love this season because we're moving into the holidays, which of course
Yeah.
is a time of
It's-
celebration
it's-
generally, and just good feelings
yeah.
and good vibes.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, this is Thanksgiving weekend. Actually, Thanksgiving Day every single day, and you know, we put in the right perspective and start our day off with a heart of, you know, gratefulness,
Right.
and it kind of makes a difference throughout the day. But you know, we're very grateful that you join us here on Bahamas at Sunrise so early in the morning.
We certainly are, and if you're watching us live on Facebook, we want you to go right there and type in something that you're grateful for so that we can celebrate with you later on. If you're not watching us live on Facebook and you do need to go or move around, remember that you can follow us on Facebook at Bahamas at Sunrise, and of course the show is live there as well.
Yeah.
We've got a great lineup for you today, so you want to stay with us throughout it.
Yeah, Zonta is in the club. I got my orange.
I saw you wearing your orange. I saw you wearing your
But it
thing.
is out there, and of course they're going to be talking about Say No to Violence campaign. You know, I never understood how, it's probably too long for this particular segment, but how you can be violent to women. Dr. Pinto is also back to talk about men's health in our urology care segment. The good doctors in the house, and of course we'll find out about an innovative chic party concept called Dinner en Blanc.
Dinner en blanc.
En blanc.
Sounds
En
very
blanc.
fancy.
En blanc. En blanc.
I'm looking forward to that
En blanc.
conversation, though. Pop Star Entertainment, who you're speaking with
Pop is
about
here.
that.
And
has been-
Randy's here too.
Yeah, they've been doing some amazing stuff, and so it's going to be fun to find out more about that. In addition to that, you might have read about it already, but we've got them here. They've got the National Sports Hall of Fame class of 2018.
Yeah, yeah.
Been interviewing these wonderful and amazing athletes
Icons,
for
legends,
some time.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm always excited when they bring the new class in studio. We're also going to be talking about BPL. Now, we've been hearing so much about BPL for the last few months, and so we're talking about them in depth in our legal aid segment. Merit Store always brings wisdom to these situations, and so we'll be learning more about that. And we're going to be taking a look at youth in sailing in Long Island. Really excited about that segment. People often confuse sailing as our national sport, which is not.
Should be.
Maybe it should be. And so hopefully this type of conversation leads us to talk more about that.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, we have Phil and I smiling for the rest of the show. Unfortunately, our weatherman, Godfrey Burnside, is still not with us. But we hope that he will be back with us soon. We're sending him all of our
Soon,
thoughts,
dude,
love, and
soon.
prayers.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we're going to come right back with more Bahamas at Sunrise.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Now, November 25th is recognized all around the world as the United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. It also marks the beginning of the global 16 days of activism to end violence against women by the Zonta Clubs. And the Zonta Clubs of the Bahamas are here to discuss their Say No to Violence campaign. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Now, I happen to know you fabulous women, and I want the world to know you too. So if you might begin by introducing yourselves for everyone to know.
My name is Latoya Johnson. I'm the president of the Zonta Club of Nassau.
Okay.
And I'm Bernadette Gibson. I'm the area director for Area 3.
Okay.
And so I cover clubs in Florida, South Florida, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cherise Arch. I'm the treasurer of the Zonta Club of New Providence.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to have you all with us, and you all are looking so fabulous in orange. I'm a woman of fashion, so before we even get into it, can you talk to us about what the orange represents?
The orange is a color that was selected to represent violence against women in particular. This initiative, which started in 2012, really, and it has been going on every year. And, you know, we are 1,200 across the world in clubs, 30,000 in membership.
Oh, wow.
And we are in 67 countries, and we have just gotten another country, St. Lucia.
Okay.
So all clubs across the world are doing the same initiative on the 25th, starting the 25th.
Okay.
So it's a worldwide thing that we're doing.
Excellent. And so if we want to join in solidarity with you, we get a nice orange shirt.
Yes.
I'm sure there are going to be some more activities that we're going to talk about as we continue this conversation, but we can start by showing up in our color, right? And that is orange. Yes. All right, so Phil did a good job. He's wearing this little orange clip or whatever it's called. Yeah. So he feels very proud of himself. I'm proud of him too. And I'm going to join the crew and make sure that our show narrows the 25th, I'm wearing my orange to stand against violence against women. Okay. So is this going to be an initiative that's supported by all of the Zonta chapters locally? Because we've got 2 chapters, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. And actually, we've already started our outreach. We've done educational outreach to schools, different school campuses, and I'm speaking to the children about healthy relationships and saying no to violence, not just domestic violence, but violence on the whole. We've also done a TIP forum, Trafficking in Persons Forum. We partnered with the U.S. Embassy, and we did that at the Harry C. Moore Library. And we are also having some other upcoming activities coming up very, very shortly.
Okay.
That's
because you have something called the Speak Out Forum, right?
Exactly.
So what is that about?
So Speak Out is where we have a panel discussion. We're going to have that on Empress Show live. It's going to be a live forum where persons can call in. It's going to be at the School of Nursing, so we have nursing students there, and we're going to have a full panel of guests who are going to be able to speak to some of the issues that surround violence in our communities, particularly domestic violence.
Which day does that take place?
That's going to be this coming Wednesday afternoon, November 21st, from 4 to 6 p.m. at the School of Nursing.
Is it open to the general public?
It is open to the public, so persons are invited to come in and attend, and they're also invited to tune in to Empress Show and call in as well.
All right, that sounds exciting. Empress gets a very good crowd. And what I love about her in particular is that it's men and women, right? And if we want this conversation to go forth, it has to be both sides of the gender gap saying that we need this to stop this. So that's exciting stuff.
Correct.
You also have something called a walk in my shoes at Christie Park. Can you tell me more about that?
Okay. Leading up, coming towards the end of the 16 days of activism, on December the 8th, we are having Walk in My Shoe at Christie Park. And it's about, again, sensitizing the public against, we call it gender-based violence. Our campaign to say no. We are also going to have different speakers talking about violence, women that would have been involved in domestic violence and how they would have gotten out. And just enjoying the community of Christie Park.
Okay, and do you have to wear high shoes, the men included, in order to walk?
No, they don't. We are also requesting the general public to bring in gently worn shoes. We're going to have them on display. It really is about just talking about raising the subject of violence.
Okay, and I think that is an important conversation to have, that's why I'm so excited that you all were in the schools too, because we look at how we just interact sometimes as a people, and the response can be negative or very physical, and so it's important to have these conversations to raise awareness that violence is not the answer, and there are other ways for us to solve our conflict, to deal with our emotions. So I'm excited. Talk to me some more about why it's necessary for us to have this conversation now, and what the response has been like from the community since you've been doing this.
It has been very good.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, The Zonta International was recognized this year by the United Nations.
Okay.
They were recognized for all that we have been doing with this same initiative
Okay.
and how it's been going so well.
Okay.
So they're very proud of that and want us to continue.
Okay.
And I just want to expand a little on that in terms of every year, while we have the initiative, we focus on one particular goal.
Okay.
Last year it was trafficking,
Okay.
and you know that was a big pandemic, okay?
Right.
Women being trafficked, not only for cheap labor, prostitution, and the list goes on. And this year we're focusing on child marriage.
Okay.
And it's you know, it's just to learn that, let's just take for example Niger. Young girls are being married at the age of 9. I mean, you haven't even seen your menstrual period, many of them at the
Right.
age of 9.
Wow.
For us in the Bahamas, we are protected in a way because our law states that not until the age of 15 that you can get parental approval
Permission, right.
between 15 and 17. So it's a bit more, you know, relaxed in that way.
Yeah. No, but it's so important for us to have these conversations, for us to bring awareness to our own students about the benefits and privileges that they have just growing up here. So Latoya, before you go, can you just tell us how we can get in contact with Zonta? Do you have social media pages we can follow? If we want to get registered or get involved, if somebody wants to share their story, how can they reach out to you?
That's correct. On social media, both of the clubs, Zonta Club of Nassau and Zonta Club of New Providence, we have Facebook pages, so you could reach out to us then there, and you can hashtag Say No to Violence along with us. You can wear your orange. We want to start the orange campaign on Fridays, you know, when people jeans and t-shirts day. Put your orange shirts on to help us to say no to violence against women and girls on that day. And I also want to give a shout out to our schools. We have some schools in St. John's and Aquinas that are Z clubs, our mentor clubs, and are also our mentor club in University of Bahamas, and they're doing great things on their school campuses, showing and saying no against violence.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning and the work that you continue to do in our community, both on this initiative and other political activism as well. Truly grateful to see some women like yourselves taking the lead on this. So thank you again for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise, where we say no to violence, period, and especially to violence against women and girls. We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
My name is Regilio Bethel. My position on board Equinox is mate, relief captain. I must say that during our travels and journeys throughout the Exuma Keys, we've had a few dark or dead spots. Basically, there was no service. They were just dark spots. We would basically be dead ship out in the cold without any communication. And it's been like that for years, and we've gotten used to it. But life has now provided us with a service which we can stay communicated during our entire voyages. And I've been waiting for Life to bring their service up to full more coverage throughout the Bahamas, which they've done in an amazing amount of time. So yeah, I would encourage them all to get that service. It's an awesome service, no interruptions, and it's awesome.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Today is International Men's Day, and we want to speak directly to the 60% of men who never, Doc, seek any medical attention. That number is astounding to me. We're very pleased to have Dr. Gregory Pinto, urologist, to talk a little bit about the urological conditions that people go through and they suffer in silence. Why?
I think, well, good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, Philip. I think a lot of it is just fear, ignorance, embarrassment.
Yeah.
Men, that figure of 60% is an international figure. I'm sure it's even
probably higher.
higher in the Bahamas.
Wow, wow.
Men will go 20 years suffering from an ailment and never seek any consult. A woman, for any little thing, will go to the doctor.
Right away, right
yeah.
away. I would imagine for erectile dysfunction, that's probably even higher.
Well, yeah. They'll never go. They'll try to mask the problem. They'll go to the, take something that's unregulated, can do untold harm to their body, to their heart, to the liver, to their kidneys, because of that fear or that embarrassment. But I'm here just to say that there is compassionate, confidential care. You don't need to suffer in silence. The greatest embarrassment is living like that when you know that there is a solution there. And the solution can be more than just a pill. In many cases, we can get to the root of the problem.
So sometimes when you talk about ED, I mean, it might be a symptom of something else.
It can be a symptom of a condition that you already have, such as hypertension or diabetes or hypercholesterolemia. It can be that it's not controlled or that it's undiagnosed. There are many men that have undiagnosed diabetes. It affects every organ of the body. More importantly for them, their male organ is what's generally affected. Or there's scores of men in this country, in the hundreds, maybe the thousands, that are being diagnosed with high blood pressure, hypertension. They are placed on hypertensive meds and they see the consequence of it. Unfortunately, many antihypertensive meds can cause erectile dysfunction or decrease sexual libido. So men just stop taking it.
So they make a choice.
They make a choice. They don't have any symptoms from high blood pressure because it's a silent killer, but they can obviously feel the effects that all of a sudden the erections are very poor. But there's so many different classes of high blood pressure medication. We can put you on a different class or a different drug, keep your blood pressure controlled, and you can still maintain your erections. What is also unknown is that there is a male menopause. You can have what we call late onset hypogonadism. It usually occurs in middle age, where men are going to have low testosterone, which is a hormone, the male hormone, that gives you that drive for sex, that gives you that energy, that makes you feel that vigor in life. So men, all of a sudden, they're going to feel that they don't have that drive to get out of bed. They don't love those things that they used to love. Their erections start to fail them. They'll put on 30 pounds in 1 year, despite being active, despite watching their diet.
What year is this? What's the definition of middle age?
So it can happen anytime, but usually between 45 and 50 is where you'll see these patients. And you'll feel like a shell of your former self. You're not going to have that energy, that drive. You're going to find that your wife might say you're irritable. You just want to come home and lay on the couch and you don't want to do anything. So don't feel old before your time. You can get back that vigor. You can get back those spontaneous erections. More importantly, you can feel more energetic. If you have low testosterone, you can be at greater risk of developing high blood pressure, diabetes, or hypercholesterolemia. Or if you have them pre-existing, it can be more difficult to control them.
So you know, women are much better at this in terms of self-examinations, but men should do them too. I mean, and if you find something that's irregular, I mean, if there's a lump anywhere, you know.
For example, if you find a lump in your scrotum, it can be for many reasons. That most of them have nothing to do with cancer. Predominantly, men are of African ancestry in this country, and testicular cancer is extremely rare. If you have pain or a lump in your scrotum, rarely you're going to have any testicular cancer as a diagnosis, but it can be something as simple as a inguinal scrotal hernia, or it can be a hydrocele, collection of fluid around the testicle, or you might have pain with epididymal cyst, which is fluid-filled and benign and of no consequence. So don't live with that fear. If you have blood in your urine, there are too many men.
I was about to say, blood anywhere outside of the body is not good.
So don't think it's an infection. It can be, but it's not the number one diagnosis. It can be something more sinister. Or in most cases, it's something benign, such as kidney stones, or it might be that you have a very rich blood supply to your normal prostate. So don't suffer needlessly. Check your testosterone. Prostate cancer, unfortunately, hits 1 in 6 men. Because of the wake up of our people, we are more obesity, we're more of African ancestry. Unfortunately, that puts us in a category of more aggressive forms of prostate cancer. Get a PSA blood test every year, get a testosterone check, get a full blood workup, let's get your cholesterol on check. Don't die needlessly of a stroke or get a heart attack before your time.
You know, this is an interesting question, but you know, circumcision, it's cultural in a lot of places. Of course, it is here. It's almost 50-50 these days. But how important is that? And is that something that is just reserved for children or for later in life?
Well, there's a misconception that circumcision is going to have you laid up for 8 weeks and you're going to have this tremendous pain. It's going to affect your erection. It doesn't at all. It can be done on your extended lunch hour. You'll have no pain that day. It's a minimally invasive
It's
procedure.
traumatic.
Yeah. You go on with your regular life. The only thing you have to abstain from sexual activity for 3 or 4 weeks. Other than that, there's no real recovery period. But what it can do is it can reduce the transmission from female to male of HIV and all sexually transmitted disease by 55 to 60%, which is profound.
That is profound.
It is profound. So there are actually receptors in the inner surface of your foreskin that promote the transmission of HIV and other sexually transmitted disease. Removing the foreskin is better for your hygiene. You will reduce your chance of anything being transmitted if you have a circumcision. And there's never too late to have a circumcision. You don't have to be a young man to have a circumcision.
Well, I tell you, it's never too early to have this type of conversation. Dr.
Thank you very
Pinto,
much,
thank you so much for joining us once again on Bahamas at Sunrise. Wow, International Men's Day. Go get checked out. We'll be right back.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
Hello, my name is Wilfred Mullings, and I'm a sales executive with Bahamas Air. At Bahamas Air, there's an excitement in the air about our new service into Houston, Texas. Houston offers many experiences that can be enjoyed by family groups, church groups, civic organizations, and sporting groups. For the sports enthusiasts, Houston offers professional sports such as the NBA Houston Rockets, the NFL Houston Texans, and the World Series champions Houston Astros, which all provides year-round excitement. Houston also hosts premier sporting events from Olympic qualifying soccer, 3 Super Bowls, and the world's largest rodeo. Houston is definitely a city that inspires. So come fly with us and experience Houston for yourself and find out what inspiration leads you. For more information on flight and packaging, visit bahamasair.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. This Friday, November 23rd, 11 well-deserving members of the Bahamian sports fraternity will join the National Sports Hall of Fame. They say it is a great moment. And here to discuss it with us, we're very happy to have Kevin Colebrook. He's the Chief Sports Recreation Officer at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. We've got Agatha Delancey. She's the Hall of Famer for the class of 2018, as well as Mr. Edmund Lewis, who's also in the Hall of Fame for the class of 2018. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
A pleasure to have you all with us again. And obviously you've brought 2 of these fine people to join us. But talk to us about who all are the inductees for 2018.
Okay, the class of 2018 will be made up by obviously these 2 persons that are sitting here. You have Cresswell Stirrup, Mr. For softball, Harcourt Coins Poitier for golf, Peter Gilcourt basketball, Charlie Rubens basketball. I may be missing out a couple, forgive me, but we have a total of 8 people that will be inducted, 2 posthumously. Mr. Arthur Thompson for softball and its officiating, and Jan Mortimer of volleyball fame. 11 of them will be inducted on the 23rd, like you said.
And I mean, you guys are certainly getting up there in numbers now. Almost about 163 people since you started in 1989. How does that feel, to know that you're just moving with this great momentum to honor all of these people that have committed themselves to excellence in sports?
We feel very good about it because we firmly believe that these people ought to be honored. They ought to be lifted up. They ought to be put out there for the public to know who they are, and to see their faces and to know who they are. It's very important that we showcase our athletes of the past, our heroes, people who have made a positive contribution to society. We must showcase, and we continue to do that year after year.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Agatha, I tried golfing. I'm not gonna lie. I tried it, and it was cool. Perhaps I didn't stick with it as long as I should have, but I did have some fun out there on the green. How did you get into golfing, and how does it feel now to have done something that you just love to do and then be honored for it?
You're asking me two very good, you made a statement and I have to answer for that. But how did I get into it? I got into it
Look
because
at this man sneaking onto my set. Philip Simon, remove yourself.
I got into it because of my children, you know.
Okay.
I'm the mother of 3 adult children. The younger 2. I saw an advert one day looking for children to go into junior golf.
Okay.
And so the 2 younger ones, good, I thought to enroll them.
Okay.
And it was through that exercise, taking them to South Ocean, that I decided, now wait a minute, I can't go to South Ocean and come back to town. And so...
and so you started?
Yes, and I formed a group of female parents.
Okay.
And I was working at IBM at the time.
Okay.
And then so that was propelled, because every time we went into a Monday morning meeting, you had persons like our general manager, Felix Stubbs, who's an avid golfer, Sam Hall, and they're just talking about what happened at the golf course.
Okay.
So I went in that way, and then they called for parents to give some administrative assistance.
Okay.
That's at the junior association level.
Okay.
And I volunteered.
Okay.
Because, of course, administration is my forte.
Right.
But I did not understand the golf lingo.
Okay.
So I had to learn it.
Okay.
Now, you liking golf, or having tried golf. Right now, I am currently organizing the first ever all-female golf club.
Okay.
And it's called Women Who Play.
Okay.
And so on December 9th, we're going to have an open clinic at the Ocean Club.
All right.
Compliments of the Ocean Club, so we'd love to have you.
I'm going to come back. I've not been to the Ocean Club in a year. I told you.
I'll send you an invite.
I hit a birdie. Is it called a birdie? I hit that one time and my golf instructor was very excited. He said, can you do it again? I couldn't do it again, and therefore we knew that golf was not my game. But thank you. I'm gonna hold you to that. December 8th?
December 9th.
December
Sunday,
9th.
Sunday,
December 9th at the Ocean Club.
For 2 hours, beginning at 2 o'clock.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Great.
Now, Mr. Lewis, you yourself are a cricketer.
Yes.
And cricket is something that, as across the Caribbean, people are very passionate about, very excited about. I wish we had some more of that excitement here in the Bahamas. But talk to me about your years in cricket and what kept you involved with this sport and this game.
Well, I began playing cricket in school, at Southern Senior School. We played during school hours, like midday to 1 o'clock like that, at Windsor Park.
Okay.
You had school cricketers, like St. John's College, Government High, and those. We played them at Windsor Park during school hours, but later on it moved out of the school time after school, and the students never really continue. However, I continued playing as a youth in the junior league for St. Bernard Cricket Club at Hainesville. Then I moved into the seniors when I was about 15, 16. I traveled abroad. Policy managers to sponsor us to go to Takes Island and Jamaica. And then Mr. Paul Thompson organized a club known as the Cumberland Clubs, and I joined the team with them through the Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, and then I went on to play in Canada, England, and then while in England I did as a bowler, had a hat trick, which was unusual. Getting 3 wickets in 3 balls. But I excelled in the game and became known throughout the Caribbean.
That's awesome. That is exciting stuff. And for you now, how does it feel to just be honored in this moment?
Well, I feel great. At least I was considered for all the hard work.
After all the hard work that you've done. And you certainly from a family of athletes as well, you know, Levan Sands and then all of those.
My grandson is Levan Sands.
Yeah.
Well, I ran track in the 60s. I won the 209 times and the 100 7 times during the 60s.
Okay.
But we normally used to run at St. Augustine's. And then in the late 60s, the Little Sports Center opened, and then I ran there several times.
Okay. Yeah, so these people deserve to be honored, man. You can see the passion and commitment that they have, and that the legacy continues on. So they're not just leaving with themselves, they're leaving with people coming behind them. Any other events that we need to know about before the Hall of Fame on Friday?
Any other
events?
Well, the month has been filled with events involving the Hall of Famers, particularly this past week.
Okay.
We've done things like we visited the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the base. We toured some of the boats, the grounds of the RBDF. We had school visits, so we can showcase these to our younger children.
Excellent.
We've also had a church service yesterday. And we have many more events that are coming up, like a visit to the House of Assembly and another school visit. And
so, Mr. Colbert, can we buy tickets for the Hall of Fame event on Friday, or everything already sold out?
No, it's not. It's not an event that you buy tickets for.
Okay.
What happens is we give the inductees an invitation with 10 admit cards for their friends, families, whoever. Obviously, and we've had them coming back for more, so we expect to pack that ballroom.
Well, we thank you all for coming. I'm certainly glad that I got to meet you, even though I won't be able to go to the event. It's fine. I think you all deserve to certainly be celebrated and honored with those who have worked with you throughout the years, and so we congratulate you again. Congratulations to the ministry. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Department of Statistics will carry out its annual labor force survey during the period of November. Enumerators with official identification cards from the department will visit selected households in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, and will be calling upon residents to complete the questionnaires honestly and accurately. The information obtained will be handled in the strictest confidence and will be used to maintain essential statistical data on our country.
You be stretched. The true lesson is know thyself. And until you know yourself, you're going to be battling with a lot of stuff. Until I knew I was a caricature artist, my company couldn't start. Until I knew I loved to give rather than to receive, I could not be a mentor. I am Renbert Mortimer, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with RevGo Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this marvelous Monday.
Marvelous Monday. Love Agatha, man. I knew her from I was a little bit younger.
I mean, clearly you ran on set, so I hope you know.
Well, you know, because by the time the segment was finished, she would have been gone. I wouldn't have got a chance to say hello, so.
Yeah, it's fine, Phil. For you, I let a lot of things slide because it's you. But no, she's an awesome woman.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love to see people
being recognized.
Recognized. And then to know that you can do something that you just love and just put your passion and your heart into it, and that at the end of the day it yields a reward. I think it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's a really beautiful thing. And so is Bahamas at Sunrise, actually. We had some very interesting conversations this morning, as always, with Dr. Gregory Pinto.
I'm sure you did. In 1 hour. You can fix it. Come in.
Oh, boy, I tell you. Yeah, you Leave with a smile. I don't know.
I'm also excited. I truly support the Zonta Club. Love the fact that they're doing this End Violence Against Women campaign. And I certainly think it will correlate in other areas of violence as well. So I want to encourage you to join them in those initiatives. December 8th, they're at Christie Park. They're there from 12 to 5. And of course, it's 16 days starting on November 25th. But they start before that on the 21st at the nursing school. And you can join them with the Natural Empress as their host as they talk about women and violence. And remember that as they end on December 10th, that's actually the International Day of Human Rights for the UN, because of course women's rights are human rights.
Yeah, definitely. I got your pen, by the way, while you were doing
you
your
stole
segment.
my pen. Okay.
Well, while you're doing your segment, I said
You just borrow it.
I'll just hold it for you.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
But listen, we've got more. We've got more. Bahamas at Sunrise. Puppy Robinson, she's here to talk about Dinner en Blanc.
Dinner en Blanc. I'm excited about that. We also got a Merit Store in the house. Our legal aid segment is going to be talking about BPL. I love the way that they correlate information for the layman to understand.
I know. All I know is I'm just walking around the house just going, Kelly, Cam.
Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Anyways, we'll find out more from them in the second half. Godfrey's not here.
And Godfrey's not here. Yeah.
But we still got weather, so we want you to tune into that now, and we'll be back with more Phil in just a second.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Welcome back. BPL and electricity fuel surcharges continue to be on the minds of Bahamians from the north all the way down to the south. Of course, BPL and other public corporations appear to have significant challenges, and those challenges may be the result of legal governance or the very fact that it is government controlled. We're very pleased on this legal aid segment to have joining us once again Mr. Merit Store, Managing Partner, Providence Law, and
there you go.
Nadia Wright, also a partner at Providence Law. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, how are you?
Wonderful, good to see you, Nadia. Are all government boards set up in this particular fashion? We talk about it all the time and we don't know whether or not that's a problem or not, but are they all governed by legislation that stipulates how they are to be appointed and how they are to be removed?
Some boards are set up statutorily, meaning that they are established by an act of parliament. Such boards would include the National Insurance Board, Water and Sewerage, as well as BPL. Is it BPL? Yeah. And what happens is that the boards are under statute guided by certain guidelines for how they are to be established. And what we see under the statutory formation is that the guidelines are there for how they are to be ran and for certain directions, general policy directions to be followed. Now, the government has the challenge of, well, they establish the boards and they are either minded to approve the decisions of the boards or they would override the decisions. Now, what you will find is that the government intervenes where there are instances of employment levels to be determined, rate levels, and capital investments.
Okay.
So where they see that these items are pressing, they would actually step in and make a decision.
I would say the things that impacts politics, but let me not delve too deeply just yet.
Yes.
Mayor, does legislation, as Nadia probably intimated to, govern the public boards like BPL, Bahamas Air, NIB, Water and Sewage, Bank of Bahamas, etc.? And does this speak to the governing authority of the boards, including how they are to be appointed and under what circumstances?
Right. Well, further to what Nadia said, yes, statutorily, the boards are given certain remits. Okay. The challenge is that, as she said, the government is the one who will make appointments to the boards.
Okay.
But the boards are really supposed to run the corporations or the public entities day to day. And so to the extent that the government will allow the boards to carry out their statutory remit is kind of the back and forth, the challenge that always occurs. Because theoretically, skilled professional people should be appointed to the boards who have the skill set to deal with what the corporation needs. And so these people should have the ability to give proper advice to the government as to what needs to happen. Of course, the government will determine whether it will follow that advice, and that sometimes is the tug and pull that goes on. I'll just add, though, that Bahamas Air and Bank of the Bahamas are not statutory corporations. They're private companies, actually, but the government holds either the majority or all of the shares in those entities.
Okay, excellent. Now, except NIB, all of the public corporations that we would have spoken to are losing money. What kinds of decisions is a board expected to make, and how can failure to make those decisions impede the progress of a company like BPL?
All right. Now, like Mayor just touched on, you have Bahamas Air Holdings Limited, that is a private company owned by the government, majority shares, and you have Bank of the Bahamas Limited, also majority shareholding of the government. Now, it is imperative that companies function to make a profit. But being public companies governed by the government and being ran by the government, you are seeing more inefficiencies. The balance has to be struck, however, in the government trying to see that these government-run entities are profitable. It is a difficult balance for the government, seeing that you have constituents that they are trying to be mindful of, at the same time trying to run the government, the entity, in a way that is efficient. That balance is not being achieved, unfortunately.
Unfortunate it is. I mean, is there another way? I mean, you know, Mayor, when we talk about this, and you hear it all the time, it's at the pleasure of the minister. And same thing for boards. You know, is this an ideal setup? And is this the most optimum way for government to operate public and quasi-public corporations?
It's a challenge because if a government is elected, then supposedly they have a mandate to do certain things, and all public entities should line up with their new mandate, whatever that is. However, I think that there must be some degree of independence, but I don't think governments are going to give up that power and authority in order to achieve that. But I think what's happening, though, is that governments are being forced to run these entities more efficiently. Unfortunately, in our case, sometimes it's external pressure from the IMF and other bodies that are looking at the profitability of these entities. But also the Bahamian public is demanding more. Okay, the Bahamian public is not satisfied with some of the services it's receiving, and it's recognizing that some of this is due to lack of proper governance. Okay, so I think governments are being forced now to look at these entities differently.
The public may not always be cognizant of this, Nadia, but the government has minority interests in private sector entities like BTC, Cable Bahamas, Hard Port Development. Can the government, you know, and Mayor did to kind of speak a little bit, but can they exert control, or is just limited up to the shareholding that they have?
It is exactly that. Okay. It is limited to the shareholding they have. So as minority shareholders, the government will not be able to exert much authority on boards such as Arawak Port Development, Cable Bahamas, and the like. What you have, though, is that they are able to sit on the board and participate to a lesser degree in decision making. However, being minority shareholders says exactly that they have a minority power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Merit, should we just privatize everything?
You know, for businesses, and again, the views differ on this. I am one who would lean more towards privatization. I think the government should regulate and exercise its control by way of regulation and allow an entity to be run the way it should be run. Okay, and if the entity is not being run properly, then the government can make changes, etc. Absolutely, you know. But anything less than that, I think you run into, because the government will always be driven by political considerations. They're not going to be driven by bottom line considerations. And I don't think that'll ever change.
I know that is so evident in all of our politics, not just here but across the world. Merit, Nadia, thank you so much once again for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. We always look forward to the Legal Aid segment.
Pleasure.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Phil. Well, it's no secret that Long Island produces some of the nation's top sailors. Well, Bahamas at Sunrise checked out the Mac Knowles Junior Sailing Club when we were in Long Island last week for the Long Island Business Outlook. And here we have Suzette Parker with more on that story.
The Long Island Sailing Regatta is the second largest in the Bahamas. Locals are proud of their sailing tradition and are ensuring it is passed on to the youth.
The Mac Knowles Junior Sailing Club is a non-profit organization. It's a group of parents that came together to try and carry on the tradition of sailing in Long Island. Sailing has forever been part of the blood and guts of Long Islanders. And we thought it would be prudent to make sure the tradition continues. That originally, since sloops were used for transport and for fishing, that tradition was dying out and more of the young people did not know how to sail. So the famous Stephen Knowles came to me one day and said he had access to 5 prams that were on loan from Jimmy Lowe and the BSA out of Nassau, and that if we didn't start doing something with them, we'd have to send them back. This was back in 2005, and we've been at it ever since, teaching the young people how to sail. We have somewhere in the lines of 30 to 100 kids at any point in time, and the ages would be, I would say, 5 to 17, but since we've been at it since 2005, I feel in my heart that our 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds that are still stopping in and still checking out how things are going are still part of our program. But technically, when they start in the Opties, they start at 7 or 8 years of age, and they age out at 15. Then we move on to the Sunfish and the Lasers, the bigger boats that you'll see out here today.
We spoke with members of the Mac Knowles Junior Sailing Club about what they love about sailing, and this club in particular.
Sailing was great. All you have to do is pull the tiller. When you're going up, you have to pull the tiller, pull in the main sheet, put the daggerboard down, and technically that's it. And when you're going down, when you have to pull the daggerboard up and slacken the main sheet and hold the tiller in the middle.
Sailing's just fun for me. It's just fun, like you get out there and you're on the water. There's no one else that could actually touch you besides the wind and waves. And sailing with this club, I like to coach a lot, and it's good when you get to teach the young children, and they go on to be big sailors in the Bahamas and possibly go to the Olympics.
I like what I have my knowledge, so I teach the younger kids. So as they grow older, they teach their generation after and keep teaching.
I've been sailing for a year, and I like sailing because it's something that people do for fun.
I just like that
all of us, we don't really have arguments, and all of us work together as a club, and we sail together. So when we get out there, it's just like a team. But we don't team sail, but we sail as a team.
They are active in the national regattas.
Well, there are several regattas around the Bahamas. They just took part in the Bahamas Optimist National Championships in Harbor Island. That was a lot of fun, and they got to sail against kids from all over the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands. It was great for all of them, a wonderful experience. And then they go to many regattas in Nassau. We had some of our kids just came back from the Cecil Cook Memorial Regatta this past weekend. They did fantastic. And then there'll be other regattas through the year sponsored by different organizations. There's the KPMG regatta coming up, that's a big one. And then after that, there will also be the Bahamas Youth Olympic Regatta. All of this gearing up to Bahamas Optimist Nationals in June, which will help qualify for the North Americans that Nassau got the bid for. So North American Championships will be held in Nassau, Bahamas this year, which will be a great event.
I competed in 6 Opti Nationals in basically all the islands that they had it at. And the regattas is Cecil Cooks, Sedua Knolls, and KPMG, and Best of Best Regatta.
I normally sail in Cecil Cook year-round, so like they have a Cecil Cook regatta every year. So I sail Cecil, Cook, Sir Durwood.
I competed in the Sedua Knolls National Regatta, the National Family Island Regatta, the Cecil Cook regattas, and mostly all of the sloop regattas all over the Bahamas.
The sailors agree that they get a lot of local support.
We actually do get quite a bit of support from people around the Bahamas, and Long Islanders, I guess they were born to sail, sorry. We have boat builders. My cousin, his dad is a boat builder, so I feel pretty good about it.
Mostly all of the businesses around support the sailing club, the regattas association, all the companies.
Sailing teaches them more than boat skills.
Sailing teaches them so many things. It's not just about the boats and it's not just about the water. It teaches them respect and discipline. It teaches them great teaming and sportsmanship. It teaches them how to thug it out even when it rains, no matter the conditions, to just keep going and pushing on. I think if I was to say one thing above anything else, it's the togetherness, though, that they learn to work together, that no one man can sail. It might be one man in a boat, but nobody can lift the boat and throw it in the water, that they have to work together, and it teaches them a lot about having to be kind and reciprocate and to do unto others.
It teaches you to use your brain. It does teach you to use your brain, because the tactics of trying to get to the windward mark first, and I mean, I guess the windward part of your course is like the part that judges the race, what places you. So, I mean, that's what I remember. That's what I know it as.
Of course, it doesn't hurt to win.
Sometimes when people are sailing, it isn't all about actually having fun, because most of it is about being serious and actually winning.
Sailing off into the sunset, this is Suzette Parker.
Hi, I'm Davrielle, and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you have finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
New Providence Life Insurance Company wants to be your lifetime insurance partner. Through good times and bad, we are here to light the way. We offer educational savings plans, family plans for medical, dental, and vision, income protection to pay bills if you can't work, and a full set of plans designed for senior adults. New Providence Life, your beacon of security through every season.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. If you are looking for an elegant and new, unique social affair this coming season, December, Alicia Puppy Robinson of Pop Star Entertainment is here, along with Rondi Trika, who actually also just celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Rondi. To tell us all about it. I've been saying it all morning. Dinner en blanc. En blanc. En blanc. En blanc. Oh boy, this is an interesting concept. Just tell us a little bit more about it.
So Dinner en Blanc is an event that started in Paris. It's currently in 30 countries and over 80 cities worldwide. It is basically an elegant picnic, an elegant dinner, where participants, they come from all over the island and to one secret location on December 1st to basically just socialize, have a good dinner, and a little bit of entertainment.
I'm already curious about that secret. Yeah, I mean, how do you keep secrets here in the Bahamas? But it's an interesting concept. How did you find this? I mean,
oddly enough, it's something that came to us as opposed to the other way around. It is a franchise, and not really out of the blue, but out of the blue, it just came, and we took a hold of it.
Took advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, Rondi, I mean, what can people expect? I mean, you saw the teaser, and of course, you know, you can Google it, you can see. But what can we expect from the Bahamas version of this?
Well, it's going to be, like she said, a night of entertainment. It's going to be a great opportunity for people to come together and, you know, just spend time and do something a little bit different. It's not something that happens often. It's going to be something, you know, where, you know, everybody's in white. It's a very elegant affair. You're going to have wine, champagne, and, you know, you have various caterers, or you can actually bring your own food. So the whole thing is you can do as much as you want, or you can be totally catered to for the evening. So it's really up to you how you want your experience to be. But it's going to be an experience. It's not just, okay, I'm coming for dinner. There's certain things that happen throughout the evening.
Okay, I was about to say, what makes this different from, you know, we hear about white parties, I guess, all the time, but what makes this different? I mean, it sounds like
So it's a timeline of certain things. I mean, you have the napkin wave and the sparklers. There are certain things that they do every single event, no matter where it happens. And then obviously different countries are encouraged to infuse their own flavor. So of course we're going to Bahamianize it a little bit.
Are you expecting persons from other countries to?
Yes, actually people travel for this event. That's one of the reasons why the franchise has created this platform, so that once you're a registered member, you get updates, you know exactly which cities it's happening, the dates, and you can literally take advantage of your travel through this event.
Wow, and we're talking, I guess, year-round? I mean, this isn't...
Year-round.
You know, Christmas isn't just the Bahamas period. I mean, other countries are probably doing the same thing?
Oh, yeah. So just last week there was Miami.
Oh, okay.
The week before there was Atlanta. Cuba, for the first time, is happening next week. Okay. So they're popping up all over.
So will this be the first and the last, or now this is going to be on the
Certainly
Bahamian
not
calendar?
the last. It will be the first, and we're hoping to execute in such a way that it creates more of a buzz, not just for Nassau, but for some of the other islands.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about this dress code. You know, obviously it has a theme that doesn't change.
No.
I imagine the style does.
Very strict. So white, and when we say white, we mean white. Like
from head to toe?
From head to toe.
Shoes included?
Shoes included.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has known to be classy, elegant, but you do have some people sporting certain costumes, so they jazz up their attire. So masks, wings, like headpieces,
Well, I'm sure they'll
decorations. You can you have the opportunity to decorate your particular area in a certain way. If you have a group of people that are coming with you and you want to just say, okay, this is our table, this is what we're going to do for our table, you can do decor with flowers. You can decorate with lights. You can, you know, have whatever you feel represents you and your group. You can have all of that
Because even though
expressed.
there's a caterer, you're actually setting up your own picnic. And that's what makes this particular event unique, because we make sure that the guests are also involved. You're not just being catered to. You're coming, you're setting up your place, and then you're just creating your own atmosphere within an atmosphere.
I imagine location must play a role in all of this. And
it does.
From the attire to, you know, everything, but do you give hints in terms of?
No hints.
No hints whatsoever. Indoor or outdoor, you're not going to say it.
Well, it's always going to be an outdoor event. It's an outdoor event, rain or shine.
Okay.
So, you know, that does not change anything. But the event is an outdoor location. Okay. And it's going to, you know, it's going to be a place where, you know, it can represent the Bahamas very well.
Very well. Okay, well, excellent. We'll tell our listening audience where they can get more information on this. How many persons are you expecting?
The goal is 900. Wow. If we fall just a little short of that, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but we cap at about 900 for the space.
Wow, okay, all right. So where can you get information on this? Tickets, it's a ticketed event, is a cost, obviously?
Yeah, so you have to register. You can, the website, they categorize by the country and the city. Okay. So nassau.dinneronblanc.com is where you can get more information on registering. We also have all the social media platforms. So that's Instagram, which is Dinner on Blanc Nassau, Facebook, again, Dinner on Blanc Nassau, and the website. Okay.
And it's dinner with one N.
Yes.
With one N.
Dîner en blanc.
Dîner.
Correct.
That's right. En
French, correct.
Okay. Rondi, Alicia,
Pleasure.
thank you very much, puppy.
Thank you
very much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. Wishing you every success.
Well, thank you.
I hope you are.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
World-class success through bold leadership. Hubert Edwards Global presents the second annual Success Summit 2018. Dynamic local and international speakers. Life-changing presentations designed to fuel your success at Super Club's Breezes on December 1st, 2018. Your investment is only $100, including lunch. Our speakers, Dr. David Burrows, Simone Edwards, Peter Hall, Shivago Lang, Duquesa Dean, Mario Moxie, Kendall Major, Carlos Palacios, Cheryl Bazard, Gowon Bo, Carlos Mackey, Simone Bo, Valentino Monroe, Wellington Hepburn, and Rodney Bain. Also, Hubert Edwards, as he shares his personal success journey. Fitness experts, Nathan Sweeting from Elite Wellness, and Donovan Roll of J Fitness. Hosted by Chavez Brown. For more information, visit our website, nlsolutionsbahamas.com. Tickets are available at all Cash and Go locations and online at tickets.cashandgobahamas.com.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
Yes, it's been a wonderful show. I forgot to mention that Stars Guy had 51 points yesterday.
What guy had 51 points yesterday?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Laker, but, you know, LeBron just happened to be there. No, I'm really sad because the Eagles lost terribly yesterday.
I wasn't going to bring it
I
up.
wasn't going to bring it up. Hey, thank you for respecting me.
But
I was devastated. But, you know, our team was injured. Anyway, this is a different story, guys. Phil and I will continue this after the cameras have cut. But thank you so much for tuning in today. And we will see you here on Friday. Bye. Yeah, you're too busy playing that.